Okay, everybody, good afternoon. I'm sitting down so that I do not have to stand up because that's really tiresome for me, and I don't want to have to do that. So, good afternoon. Welcome. Today is April 16th in 2020, Thursday. Sun is in Aries, Moon in Aquarius. And a lot of squirrels in the heavens, places that I cannot name. Remember, if those squirrels, one sign is squirreling two other signs, they do not get along. There was conflict, there was tension, there was resistance. So, there's a lot of that in the heavens. So, today I have a lot of things planned, a lot of reading to do, and a lot to go over. So, we're going to start out by reading about Aries, which is spelled A-R-E-S, not A-R-I-E-S, or vice versa, because Aries is the Greek god for mythology that was the basis for Aries' zodiac sign. Be careful with the spelling, because it does make a difference. And you do want to make sure that you spell it correctly. So if you spell A-R-E-S, you're referring to the Greek god. If you spell A-R-I-E-S, you're referring to the zodiac sign. Okay, so we're going to read about Aries, the god of war and the warrior. To understand the origins and the history and the mythology behind Aries, because as we know, astrology is rooted in mythology, and its real picture image, its real platform is astronomy, with psychology combined, with the addition, with the archetypes of astrology being based and rooted in mythology. So all of them are based on gods and goddesses from not only Greek mythology, but I think that in every mythology there's one per every sign. And Aries is the one for Greek, or it's Mars in Roman. And think about how obvious that is, because Mars is the planet that rules Aries. I'm going to get into that. So, we're going to do that today. Read a little mythology. We're going to be going over Aries and daily life today. We're not going to be reading, we're just going to be going through the different sections and discussing. And I'll probably be writing some stuff up here on the board as we go along. Okay? And I don't have the book available right now, but I will go grab it. So, happy birthday, Michelle Knight. Her birthday is today, okay? And if you don't know Michelle Knight, she is an Aries who has a YouTube channel called, I think, her astrology channel, Michelle Knight Astrology, where she has weekly astrology for all the different signs and all the planetary placements and what they're going to be going through during the week. She has all the different signs and those secret superpowers in addition to the shadows that they hold, which is the burial and kind of the downside, getting into the low roads of those signs. Gremlins, as she calls it. And also she has videos, just updates, and also all about all of the different signs with Michelle Knight. And in a lot of them, she starts out by saying, "Hey, gorgeous soul." And I just find that a little, it's very interesting. And she definitely has that Aries athletic, strong, powerful woman appearance very well built in, and kind of a heavy set, good metabolism and all that kind of thing. So medium to overweight, I would say, like a lot of people. But so we're not going to get into that. So it's a birthday today, and going along with that is something called Winthrop Bell Illy's Song. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. First of all, though, Taurus season is going to be approaching here. So we're going to be having a day where we're going to be sharing and telling our value and something that we find very personal to us, just a possession, something material, like it could be a dish, could be a piece of art, and also finding a Taurian interest and then doing that for a certain number of days and writing reflection with all the documented evidence like that, and then pictures, and then that's basically what we're going to be doing for Taurus season. So Taurian interests is what it's going to be called. So simple pleasures, indulgences, yum yums, all those things. So in addition, I will also not be having a Taurus club, but this is off the season because I should have started this. A good time would be September 23rd through October 22nd. Did I give it away already? Because Libra Club is going to be starting, which is the opposite to Aries and the complement to it. So that will be starting on the cusp period, which will begin on the 19th or 20th of April, where we will get into that, okay? Because that is my moon sign. Libra is my moon sign. So, that's exciting. And so, Winthrop Bell Aries is going to star Michelle Knight in Alive and Kicking Person. I'm doing Aries Sky, Gordon Jordan. Getting into Winthrop Church Bell, as you can tell, with the Winthrop, Teddy Winthrop Investigates episodes. And also getting into the day of March 30th in the morning for the most part. And that will be another, acting movie video, movie song video. So, without further ado, let's get into the reading. Okay, now I have taken the extra special liberty, and I have copied over the information in the anthology book by Edith Hamilton on Aries, and I put it in a Google document, and I copied it over for how many copies that I need for how many individuals in this room. Okay, so pull that out, please, and I want you to turn to Aries, Mars, and that's basically all it is. Okay? So remember, Aries is the Greek name, Ares, and Mars is the Roman name. Okay? So, I'm going to start reading, and as I'm going through, I'm going to be writing down words that we come across that we're going to be connecting the Greek god of Aries, Ares, that is, to Mars, to fire, and to the zodiac sign Aries. Okay? As we're going through. So I'm just going to erase this here now that we have that established. Just erase it off the board here. Okay. That will be good enough. So, excellent. Now I have the marker handy. Okay. Let's get into it. I don't know why I didn't do this at first, but... Okay. So, I wonder why I even need this robe on anymore. Don't know if I need it on. Okay, let's see. Okay. Alright. So, it says, and I'll read it and then discuss it. The god of war, which is referring to Ares, obviously, son of Zeus and Hera. Remember, Zeus is Leo. Both of whom, Homer says, detested him. Detested him. We're going to get into the reasonings why. Detested, by the way, means hated. Indeed, he is hateful throughout the Iliad, poem of war though it is. Occasionally the heroes rejoice in the delight of Ares' battle. Rejoice in the delight of Ares' battle. Think about that sentence. Because as we know, Ares is the fighter of the zodiac. It is not afraid to fight physically if it needs to, not afraid to fight verbally, depending on the other planetary placements. But we talked about Mercury and Mars influence with Ares. So, you remember Mercury is on the mental and the communication, the intellect, and Mars is the physical inertia. So, the delight of Ares' battle. It's not afraid to fight for what it wants, what it needs, for its family, for the things that it likes and loves, for good causes. But far off, in having escaped the fury of the ruthless god. Ruthless means like comes from like evil, in other words. Evil root, I want to say. So, Homer calls him murderous, bloodstained, the incarnate curse of mortals, and strangely, a coward too, which bellows with pain and runs away when he is wounded. So this feels very Aries, but we need to remember, because I think that, like we were reading in the introduction, that it gets mistaken for an angry warrior. And yes, it does have an impulsiveness, and it does have a temper at times, because it is a child, by the way, and it can be, at times, it can be a self-centered sign. I really do not see that in a negative light, and I don't think that is true, because it's very, it's a mix, it's a perfect balance between self-centeredness and also, feeling and really having compassion, empathy, caring for others as well. So, I think that we're getting into the low roads of Aries, the Aries that isn't evolved through the other cardinal signs and the other three elements, including its Libra opposition, evolvation, and also just the negative low roads of Aries. So, murderous, blood-stained. Now, we talked about, murderous means fighting and killing. Bloodstained. Now, we talked about the lines of poetry. The lines of poetry in the Ilias the Firefighter. So I'm going to read them out to you. So incendiary diamonds scorch the earth. Blood burns the earth. Blood scorches it. Ilias is first to fight the flames. The fight is on. And fight another fire. So those lyrics of poetry, the blood-stained fighter, Ilias is very, very strong and very brave, and I think that you can tell an Aries by having kind of an athletic appearance to the facial features. So, let's see. So the incarnate curse of mortals, and strangely, a coward too, someone who's not really wise, someone who's, stupid or whatever. So I'm not really smart. And just also comes with being disrespectful. 2. Who bellows with pain and runs away when he is wounded. Remember that Aries is an individual sign and it does not want to live its life in the command and for the way that others want to live their life. It is an individual and lives its own life. It doesn't like the pressure, doesn't like the obligations, doesn't care for the expectations of society, and also going back to Cancer, which is the home and the family. It can be evolved through Libra. So when he is wounded, runs away, shuts life out, goes on his own path quest. Yet he has a train of attendants on the battlefield, which should inspire anyone with confidence. I'm going to write a couple of the words down that we read. So the first one is battlefield. Battlefield. We already talked about this one. The next word is confidence. Aries is very confident and very independent sign of confident of its purpose, confident of who it is, feeling good about itself, enjoying self-pride and good self-esteem. We should know confidence. And really self-optimism. So attendance on the battlefield. So it should inspire confidence. I'll draw an arrow to confidence. So inspire. Aries is the sign who inspires and who wants to take the lead. Inspires others to follow with them. To be like them and to stand up for what they believe in. And all of those things. Stand up for who they are. So, inspire. Inspiration. So, let's see. So, murderous, blood-stained. We're not gonna, write. So, these two words. So I'll just put, I don't know. Good Aries. I'll just write those two other words down for bad Aries. So, murderous, blood, stained. Okay, I'll just kind of make a chart to be easy. Well, I think I found my little rag that was done. I'll just keep a hold of it here. Okay. Alright. So, and here was another word. Ruthless. Ruthless. Evil, unkind, unfeeling, uncaring. All of those characteristics and traits. So ruthless. Ruthlessness. And it can come off that way. One word I'll put up in the middle section would be blunt and direct. Strong. So I'm putting a middle chart because these things can be good and bad at the same time. They can have good sides and bad sides to them. So we know blunt, saying things very like straight, straightly, like, in your face, not afraid to back down, and really, firmly, and with that authoritativeness to it. Shows the one really to the truth and to the point. Direct goes with that as well, saying it straight, which these two are interlinked together, and then strong. Strong well too. So we're gonna leave this. I really can't think of which is safe for strong, because I think you already know that. So I'll just leave that up there for you. So, bellows with pain and runs away when he's wounded. So, his sister is their Eris, which means discord and strife or strifey. Her son, the goddess of war, Inu in Latin, Bellona, walks beside him. And with her are terror and trembling and panic. Terror and trembling and panic. So we're gonna put just a round Aries in the middle. So for someone being around an Aries, or at least the bad, unevolved Aries, they apparently should be feeling terror, and being afraid and fearful of Aries, what it's gonna do physically, what it's gonna say, trembling, feeling uneasy, feeling very tense and on edge, and feeling like they're walking on eggshells with an Aries, that kind of fragility to the air, and panicking of being in that situation with someone so strong and so blunt, and all of those things. So I'm going to get into just a little personal story here with that. So as they move, the voice of groaning arises behind them, and the earth streams with blood. Very, very powerful. Just that panic and freaking out and fear and nervousness. I also should put anxiety, being anxious, nervousness, and just freaking out. And these do not correspond, okay? So, let's see. So, the voice of groaning arises behind them, and the earth streams with blood. The fight is on. So that's, I find that very symbolic towards, just the fire is going to start, and it's going to get bigger, and it's going to spread. We read about that, didn't we? And so, the fight's on. It's provoked, and watch out, because it's coming through. And that is both good and bad. It's kind of a mix here. So, the Romans like Mars, or Aries, better than, and I should make this just clear again. So, God, myth God, which is Aries, A-R-E-S, sign, zodiac sign, which is A-R-I-E-S. Okay? To make it clear. So I hope that you, as I'm reading, are finding the connections and ties to Aries. Because this is what it was based on, really. Because it's the oldest science, which is astrology, used by the ancients. So, we're going to get into the history of astrology another time. But the Romans liked Mars better than Greeks liked Aries. Which, Roman, Mars, and then Greek is Aries. I should clarify that as well. So the Romans liked him better than the Greeks liked him. Never was to them the mean, whining deity of the Iliad. Whining temper. Whining temper. I'm going to put that in the middle too. But I'm going to put it over to the negative. I hate to do it, but whining temper. I should put tantrum in parentheses. This is really childhood, whining, emotional outbursts, and it has a temper. Not moody like everybody. And then tantrums to things, was fighting, was upset and angry, disappointed, whatever the emotion is, whatever the situation is. So, physically and verbally, thinkingly. So, let's see here. So, whining deity of the Iliad, but magnificent in shining armor, redoubtable and invincible. Let's forget about redoubtable. But let's talk about shining armor. So, shining armor is a symbol for Aries, and I think that it could be a fairly prominent one because a very important one. Think of in battles in the ancient and the medieval times where they were fighting. And think of just the mythology. Also think later in the medieval times with the knights in shining armor. Knights in shining armor. They were brave, they were courageous, they were strong, and they were selfless. They thought of a greater cause. They did something that was bigger than them. They sacrificed, and they really did what they believed in, and they were very, very loyal and did good deeds for others when fighting for everybody. So that outfit alone, that shining armor that they used to wear, and you can get into the history of all that, that would be a fairly obvious symbol of the warrior of Aries. So on March 27, which was a Thursday, remember listening to that music of Aries, Greek battle music? Well, the outfit of that one person with like the red cape and the metal hat and and the spear, I should say the spear as well, or the sword, that makes them ready for battle, like ready to, like for example, go into war, go into military, ready to fight, ready to be strong. And we got into a little bit of the mythology, but I think this is what I really wanted to get into with that. So it didn't have what I was trying to get at with the website that I just read off to you. The shining armor, as we talked about, and then invincibility, its strength is the strongest and most courageous of all the zodiac signs. This should be pretty simple. So I'm going to write down that word, just invincible. And I'm going to put it in the middle. Invincible. As another little word for Aries. So, the warriors of the great Latin heroic poem, the Aeneid, far from rejoicing to escape from him, that was written by Virgil, which was a famous Roman epic poem, just like the Odyssey and the Iliad, which is the book for Ares. Let me tell you, the Iliad, I have never read it, but it's very long and really complex, and I hope to read it someday. So, far from rejoicing to escape from him, rejoice when they see that they are to fall on Mars' field of renown. On Mars' field of renown. That Ares is there. That fire, that the hero, the one who stands up. And all those things. The Romans worship this person. So they rush on glorious death. Rush on glorious death. And find it sweet to die in battle. Again, that sacrificial actions. So, so pay attention to little quotes in this. So Ares figures little in mythology. In one story, he is the lover of Aphrodite and held at the contempt of the Olympians by Aphrodite's husband, Hephaestus. But for the most part, he is little more than a symbol of war. He is not a distinct personality like Hermes or Hero or Apollo. A couple of things to discuss with this paragraph is, first and foremost, when it says the level of Aphrodite. Okay, so Mars. So Ares is the god of Ares, obviously, spelling. Roman is Mars. Aphrodite is the goddess of Libra. That was what Libra was based on, and we'll probably get into that with Libra Club coming up here if you're planning to join that. And, get this, in Roman, it's known as Venus, which I don't know about Taurus, that's something too, but I think that you kind of get this. So, because they are the opposite sides of the wheel. They are the complements. They come in the middle and they shake hands. One has what the other lacks, and so they exchange. And they have a relationship where they can balance each other out and teach things to each other with really different